is a narcissist? Have you ever heard of somebody who has a narcissistic disorder? These are kind of people who are much into themselves. They love themselves too much. They love admiration and they love control of everything and every aspect of their life. So today I want to welcome you to our YouTube channel, Shiko, as we discuss the narcissistic disorder. Why does it occur? Who are these type of people that you meet who are narcissistic, and their symptoms and their behaviors and how they are. Remember to share, like, and comment in our YouTube channel so that we can move together as we train. And also in all our social media platforms, you look for Moses Basket Initiative so that you can be able to follow us and understand what we do. So these are people who have a fantasy about themselves. Their ego is too big to fit into anybody's issue. So that is our point number one. They live in a fantasy world. And in this fantasy world, there is nobody else other than themselves. They are the ones who are controlling everything. They are the ones who are smarter than anybody else. They are the ones who have a bigger personality than anybody else. They let their ego tell them that they are more important than anybody in this world. So they live in a world of fantasy, of power and control. So they don't want you to be in their space at any other time. They want you to bow down to them. They want you to worship them. They want you to identify them. So when you go into a meeting and you don't appreciate them or understand them, and also not understanding them, but recognizing them by their name and their title. These are people who are also washed into their titles. So if you don't call them by their names, doctor, honorable, and all other kind of nice names, because they love the self-importance that we are giving them. They want you to feel that they are the most important people in the room. So what we say is that they live in a fantasy world where their ego is too big than anybody else. So they don't reflect in anybody's space but themselves. Number two, you need to understand that these people are bullies. They live in a world where they want to push their way. I don't know if you have ever met somebody who likes pushing their way through you. You know this is wrong, but because they have said it, we have to do it their way. If you don't do things their way, then they become angry and they start disturbing other people. They speak badly. They not even participate in your activity simply because they are not the ones controlling this. So they are bullies at work. They are bullies at schools. They are bullies in our homes. They are bullies in marriages. So they bully their partners. They bully their co-colleagues. They bully their schoolmates. They bully everybody around them as long as things don't go their way. As long as you don't recognize their power and control, then nothing will happen. So these are not people you sit with to negotiate. You only let them speak. Then at the end of the day, make your own decision, because when you wait for their decision must be final in this. So it is up to you to discuss and know what kind of a person am I dealing with. A narcissistic person, you cannot be able to bear them. I keep telling women and men, this personality, this type of disorder, you cannot survive in their space. The best thing is you cannot survive a narcissist in any way. So what the best is walk away from a narcissist, because they drain your blood, they drain your energy, they drain your thinking until you start questioning your own self-worth. You start asking yourself, am I worthy? Why is this person talking to me this way? Remember, their ego is here. So you don't matter in their world. Another thing, they are antisocial human beings because they don't like where people are. They don't like where people are discussing and having negotiations. They don't like where there's freedom of people to speak. And that is why if you find such a partner in marriage, they'll always tell you, why are you talking back at me? In every simple struggle, they'll always fight you. because it is them who will need to negotiate that talk. If you had a disagreement, they're the ones to make the decision. They will control the conversation and they will make you feel guilty. That is our number 3 point, where they make the other person feel guilty about themselves. You question your own self-worth, self-esteem, your confidence goes low. Remember, they suck all the positive thing in you because they are very pessimistic people. So they like working with guilt. They like putting you in a shoes where they blame you for every action that you do. So you'll always feel guilty, like, oh my God, I should have given him or her the tea. Oh my God, I didn't do this. Oh my God. And it is not even your fault that you did not give them the tea. Maybe the tea was not ready, or maybe the gas you're cooking with went off and that is why the tea was not ready. But he will blame you for every aspect. Oh, you did not keep time. Oh, you are not the person who I wanted you to be. Oh, simple things like tea you can't make, and the blame game continues because they want to eat you with the guilt aspect of you. Remember, I said in number 3, they are bullies. So number 4, when we talk about them being guilt trippers, like they want to grip you on guilt completely, that is what we discuss and say, these people eat on your guilt, they thrive in your guilt, they thrive in blaming you. So another thing about narcissists is that in every room they walk into, in every room they want to talk to, in every room they are in, you have to salute them. Because I said in the beginning in point number 1, the self-importance thing, the admiration. So in every room they want to be the ones who are saying, and they don't want anybody to talk to them. So when you're talking, there's the difference of talking to me, addressing me, and also talking back at me. Those are totally different scenarios. So they don't like any of that unless they are talking to you. So that is when they'll take the conversation serious. But any other thing, it will just be a problem after a problem after a problem. Remember, they are not solution oriented. So that is why they will keep pulling you back into the mud, because they don't want solutions. They want to thrive in that chaos. They want to thrive in the mess they are creating. They want to see you miserable. They want to see you suffer, especially if you're comparenting with somebody who is a narcissist. They will always use the children to guilt trap you. They will always use the kids and say, oh, you don't love the kids this much, oh, you don't want this, oh, like that. And they will use the kids to fight you back until you lose your mind. So they will be like, okay, you have to feed the kids, oh, you have to do the shopping, you have to pay the rent, and if you want to see the kids, they don't want you to see the kids. So there are all those aspects. If they are your co-workers at work, they don't want anything like you will succeed in anything. As long as there is a problem, they want to dwell in that problem. Oh, why was the report not done? Why was this? If it is a friend, then that is even worse. They will always be there to blame you for every fault that you have. Remember, their ego is too high, and I have said that you can never thrive, you can never succeed in a space where a narcissist is. The best way is to give them their time and move away from the narcissistic behavior and understand it is a disorder. It is a disorder, and it needs to be addressed medically or in a mental institution so that this person can be able to come up. It depends also with their upbringing. Maybe they were brought up by a narcissistic parent, so we don't want to blame them for being with that kind of disorder just because they are. Maybe they collected it during their upbringing. Remember, I said child trauma reacts even in your adulthood. It reflects back, so you cannot dissociate narcissistic behavior far away from how they were raised. You will look at both parents and you'll be able to tell which parent was narcissistic and why the traits were there, because if the father or the mother was a narcissistic, then it means the traits have been passed to the children, because that is how they train. These are people who also work with their children in a military manner of way. They keep pushing the kids to succeed. They keep pushing the kids because they don't want any shame in the family. They want to be the stars. They want to shine out here. So any mistake in the family, then they will be embarrassed by the social status they want. These are people who look smart. These are people who carry newspapers here. These are people who polish their shoes like 100 times. As long as they walk into that room, they want to be in control. They want you to feel their presence. They want you to acknowledge their ability abilities and their strength. That is why you need to be very careful with all these things that we are talking about, so that when you are in such a situation, either in marriage, either at workplace, either in school, you are able to identify this and work with it. Even within our own families, we have such kind of people in our families. Those people fight us for no good reason, but they are looking forward to distraction. These people will destroy you. You'll feel like you are not able to hold yourself. You are not able to love yourself. You're not able to do anything. So it is good for you to walk away from a narcissist. As we continue with these topics, my friends, we want to be with you in this position so that you can be able to comment, like in all our social media platforms, as we continue with these topics at Moses Basket Initiative. We love you guys. We want to see you move with us, and like, share, and comment. See you in the next series. We love you. Thank you.